Chapter 7 is about to be one of the biggest seasons we have ever had in Fortnite. Especially if you liked the old Fortnite storyline. We're about to see the return of the lost reality, the return of the Imagine Order, and the return of the Seven. If you did not play Fortnite back in Chapter 3, you will have no clue who this creature is. I'm curious how many of you guys played in Chapter 3 like this video. This is Herald. She is probably one of the most hated characters in the history of Fortnite. Why? Because not only she destroyed the entire Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 island, but also kidnapped most of the members of the Seven as well. And this was almost 4 years ago. And even until now, we don't know the whereabouts of the Seven or Herald. And that is about to change very soon in Chapter 7. But where are the Seven right now, and who is Herald? Well, to understand this, we have to understand who the Dark Presence is.
We are searching for someone. You do not question who we are, or why we have chosen you. Your true journey begins now.
The voice you heard belongs to a creature known as the Nothing. The Nothing is considered to be like this main boss of Fortnite, whose name has been mentioned ever since Chapter 1, but we have never seen him. But we did hear his voice for the very first time in Chapter 3 Season 4, when Herald was attacking the island. That's right, this means Herald was actually working for the Nothing. And since the Nothing is the creator of the lost reality, that means the lost reality were the one who kidnapped the Seven members. And I'm not surprised, because the Seven did ruin the lost reality's plan completely. Watch this. That's right, the lost reality were so close to bring the Nothing, who's inside of that giant circular ship, to the Fortnite island, but the Seven completely ruined it. And ever since then, the Nothing creates this huge plan to take down the Imagine Order and the Seven. But the Nothing is very smart. He's not going to attack just yet, because he knows that there is going to be a chaos on the island. A war between the Seven and the Imagine Order is about to begin. as predicted, this war gets very rough. The Fortnite island is in complete chaos, and this is the opportunity that Nothing was waiting for. He sends his most trusted warrior called Herald, and while the Seven and the Imagined Order are fighting, Herald is scheming her plan to destroy this Fortnite island. And by the end of Chapter 3, Season 2, the Seven completely destroys the Imagined Order. Everyone on the island starts celebrating, including the Seven, and this was a huge mistake, because in Chapter 3, Season 4, this happens.
Tell me you're getting somewhere. We've already lost so much of the island to that chrome.
That's not surprising given the sample's behavior. I've never seen such accelerated cytokinesis. Whoa! I'm starting to think this may be a problem.
Get out of here! That's an order!
This isn't how it ends. Suit integrity compromised. There has to be a way to fix this. Aligning to reality. 6, 5, 9.
That's right, Herald kidnaps most of the members of the Seven except for Paradigm, and slowly she corrupts the entire island and completely destroys Chapter 3 and Chapter 2 map. Their plan is to expose the 0 point out in the open, but that does not happen because the 0 point very quickly constructs a temporary island and hides itself. And in Chapter 4, for the very first time since Chapter 2, we see the Nothing try to get to the island, and he's going to get here through this rift portal. That's right, the portals aren't your new things just for Chapter 6. All the way back in Chapter 4, there was this person known as Talon constructing this rift portal. He tells us that he has been ordered to construct this portal by this creature known as the Shapeless Man. Now, we think that this Shapeless Man is in fact the Nothing, because in the past, the Nothing is described as just a presence rather than a person. Remember when Hope was rescued from the spirit realm? She described the dark presence as someone who is not a person, just a presence. Also in Chapter 4, at the same time Talon was constructing this rift portal, some of the heroes were trying to locate the Seven in hope of saving them all. They used the same rift portal to send some robots, and they come back with a message saying that the Seven are going through the darkest fate imaginable. And then the scientist's AI known as Amy uses the portal to go save the Seven. Her last words: "I will not be back until I save them all." And that was 3 years ago. And now in Chapter 7, finally they're going to be back. And now you know how they're going to be back. Let's talk about what is going to take place in Chapter 7. Now, according to the biggest Fortnite leakers in the world, HypeX, he posted this timeline. And if you look at everything that has happened in Chapter 6, you can tell this is legit, because he predicted the Hero plus Midas season. And as you can see, Chapter 6 Season 4, it says alien invasion. And you might be thinking it's a bug bug invasion, not alien. But if you've been watching my videos recently, we think that these bugs are created by the Lost Reality. And we know that the Lost Reality is basically aliens. And then he predicted the Simpsons theme season as well. And now let's move on to Chapter 7. According to Hypex, the Season 1 of Chapter 7 is going to be Norse mythology themed. So similar to Chapter 5 where we got gods like Zeus, Hades. In Chapter 7, we are going to get gods like Odin, Valkyrie. And slowly towards the end of Chapter 7 Season 1, we will start to see teasers hinting us the return of the 7. And it's not just the 7 as well. We are going to see the return of an organization that we never thought would come back, the Imagine Order. But this time around, are they going to fight each other or team up? Because last time they fought each other and ended up losing the entire Fortnite island. And also, as you can see, the Lost Reality is going to be back next chapter as well. In fact, they're going to be the main villain throughout next chapter. I think Chapter 7 is going to be one of the biggest chapter we have ever had in the history of Fortnite. And I will keep you guys updated, so please use my code SMJM, subscribe, and like this video. Peace out.